Hey, now usually I thought whenever you lay something down, you don't have to repeat yourself or say it again. It's done. But seeming as how everyone's still confused about this, let's go over this one more time, students. We're going to talk about the moon and the importance of the moon in its relationship with the sun. Okay? And I cannot stress to you enough that nothing is separate. Nothing is separate. Okay? Separation is an illusion. You see, the moon is magnetic and connected to the heart. The main symbol used for magnetism is the moon. Okay? The sun is electric, the electro. The moon is the personification of the supreme divine feminine. The sun is the personification of the supreme divine masculine. Okay? The Holy Grail is the neck and the skull. The Holy Grail is a cup because the sun, aka man, the pineal gland, the mind, the electric, the honey, and the moon, the woman, the pituitary gland, the milk, make the Christos oil in the brain and fill it up every month. This is why the moon phases are so important. This is why the moon phases and alignments are so important, because every time the moon is in position and the moon is in alignment with your sun sign, your rising sign, or your moon sign in the zodiac, you have an opportunity to activate and elevate and become the Christ within that the Gnostics talked about for the past 2,000 years. The land of milk and honey is in the mind, okay? Because for example, let's just keep reading. You have Israel. The is the female, the moon, the subconscious. The Ra is the fire, the sun, and the conscious mind. The El is the personification of God, right? The Godhead, the consciousness. That's the balance, the balancing of the two hemispheres, which is why the Star of David or the Shield of David is so prominent and malevolent to our people. But if you realize, it's just two alchemical symbols put together, one representing the masculine energy of the fire and one representing the feminine energy of the water, the left brain and the right brain. Okay? Remember, like I was explaining, the heart and the mind connection and the connection to the number 8 on my lessons 3 through lesson 8. Well, that's because when a person starts to open their heart, when a person starts to maintain and elevate, as I was saying, you see that Taurus field, that Merkaba there? That is the brain-heart connection. You see, whenever a person is in a calm state of mind, whenever a person is in an altered state of consciousness, like the alpha state or the theta state brainwave, and it's in unison with your heart, you hold more influence over the reality you're living in than matter itself. Let me say that again. You hold more influence over the reality you're living in than matter itself. This is because that state is pure ether. It's pure spirit, pure energy, producing a Merkaba. Mind is truly over matter, enabling you to have greater impact on reality. Manipulation of the particles and waves. The particles is the matter. The waves is spirit. The manipulation of the particles and waves is also known as magic, the mental alchemy. By combining a clear intention, the mind, with an emotion, the heart, a person can truly affect and change his and her reality and physical world. This is why the heart is always associated with the moon, the mother, the matriarch. Okay, this is why the heart is out of Jesus's chest, because the heart is the fourth chakra. This is the gateway, the access to the higher realms. This is the middle point, the middle pillar in the body. Oh, you thought I just had one notebook? Nah, I got about 10, motherfucker. Now, where were we? The moon. The moon controls the physical body. The moon influences the physical body. The goddess Ma'u, known as Mother Moon, La Luna, and Pistis Sophia are associated with the moon. and rules all the liquid and waters of earth. Yes, the moon influences and rules all liquids and waters on the earth, including the liquids above and below, within and without. All water has memory, yes, but also all water is connected, kind of like a mirror or a portal. Water was the last incarnation of the earth spirit, the earth soul. The sun, moon, and star is also a personification of the sun, moon, and earth. The sun is heaven. The moon is earth. And the body is hell. Yes, they all come into tandem with each other. The moon is a giant ball of spirits. It's a ghost ball full of the spirits of the old, the lunar spirits called the ancestors. As I was saying, the moon is a giant ball of souls. It's a giant ball of spirits. It's a big ass ghost ball. Okay? That's what the moon is. It's full of the spirits of the old. The lunar spirits are what we call our ancestors, and what some Christians or Catholics would call the angels or the angelics. The angels are just angles of light. These are not egregores. The moon is not the enemy. Up until June 21st, the summer solstice this year, the moon was being used as a weapon against us. Now it's working with us. I want you to pay attention to all the weather storms that have been happening, all the crazy shit that's been happening, how people have been acting, how the water has been responding. Aren't we getting ready for a massive flood and hurricane to happen? I know y'all seen the 2025 map. What's connected to the waters? The moon. Now let me continue. It had to be charged up with the souls to accumulate enough energy to interact with us. The enemy used the moon as a weapon of illusion and confusion for us to get us to turn our back from the mother, while the enemy was using the energy of the souls and the false light from the AI to influence our minds, thoughts, and behaviors to divide us and conquer us from one another and have us favoring one side. You're imbalanced. If you're just focusing on the sun and you're just sun gazing and you're not moon gazing, you're just favoring.
Whenever it's a full moon, people become crazy. They have said this for centuries. It was only the scientists that caught up about 50 to 75 years ago that figured out the human body is 70% water, and the moon pulls on us too, just like it pulls on the tides. So people become crazy under full moons. That's why they call it lunatics.